Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and today I'm doing another Fatal Friday video. Fatal Friday being the series I do where I go into the Kombat League for Mortal Kombat 1, and I try to get unique finishers for the main roster and cameo fighters. Today I am pairing up Peacemaker and the kameo Kano in order to go after the Brutality Shield of Peace for Peacemaker. That is going to be the Brutality version of Peacemaker's throw. And that previously referenced Shield of Peace is going to be used to decapitate the opponent. And speaking of the opponent, let's go ahead and see who we're facing off against, and let's go ahead and listen to that intro dialogue.
That helmet makes you look like a silver-tipped superhero? Thank you. Jesus! What the? Take one. Action!
Alright, looks like we are facing off against a Johnny Cage and Frost user. Judging by their combat card, it looks like they may be more used to using Scorpion than Johnny Cage, which works out pretty good for me. The reason being, well, this is only one of the first few fights I have done with Peacemaker, so I'm still kind of learning this character as of the time that I recorded this. So going against somebody who was not necessarily used to the character they were using either, well, that bodes pretty well for me. But yeah, I am finally getting around to using Peacemaker. The character has been out for a few weeks now as of the time I am voicing this over, so kind of figured it was time for me to go ahead and finally get a video out there. I am definitely way behind the ball on that one. I'm pretty sure I got videos for Quan Chi and Omni-Man out way faster than this. But I do have an overabundance of other videos I need to get to work on, so yeah, this one just got a little bit delayed. Even so, I've already recorded all of the finishers for Peacemaker, so all I have to do is just voice those over and then get those scheduled on the rotation, so even though it may have taken me a little while, seeing Peacemaker should be a somewhat more regular thing now. I do need to do a little bit of homework before I start posting other Peacemaker videos though, and by homework I mean I need to actually watch the things that Peacemaker is in. Now I have seen the Suicide Squad movie that he is in, I really enjoyed that, so I know any references that are from that movie. However, there's also a Peacemaker show that I've only seen one episode of, and I imagine I'm going to go ahead and need and watch that show as well, because having seen some of the finishers for Peacemaker, I feel like there are a lot of references going on that I am just not familiar with, and I am not liking that. I want to be able to talk about those things since, you know, they're fun little nods in these finishers to that show. So whenever Peacemaker is brutally killing somebody, I want to know exactly what it's a reference to, and then we can all laugh and enjoy it together. Well, the opponent won't be laughing, but you get the idea. But yeah, for example, Peacemaker's shield here, it's going to be used to decapitate the opponent as part of the brutality that we are going after. And that was definitely not a thing in the Suicide Squad movie, so I'm thinking that's probably a reference to the show in some way. Or maybe my memory is just absolutely terrible and it was in the movie and I just do not remember. That or the creators just thought it'd be really funny to give Peacemaker an R-rated version of Captain America's Shield Slam. If anyone has seen the show and already knows, please let me know. But yeah, I can at least talk about what I have seen Peacemaker in, and that was the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, which I really liked. It was definitely a lot better than the first one. And in that movie, Mr. John Cena here playing Peacemaker got a few really fun kills, definitely some funny stuff. It was just the perfect kind of over-the-top violence that is kind of perfect for Mortal Kombat, so I would consider him a very welcome addition to the roster. That, and since this character does fall under the WB umbrella just like Mortal Kombat, I imagine that made things a lot easier when it came to integrating him into this game. I'm not complaining though, at least the character makes perfect sense being in a game like this. And having played as Peacemaker a little bit, seeing all the finishers, seeing all of his moves, and just all the commentary he does, all the crazy shit that he does, yeah, I feel like the creators had a lot of fun bringing this character to life in the Mortal Kombat universe.
Let's see Batman do that.
Brutality. Peacemaker wins.
And there it was, the Shield of Peace Brutality for Peacemaker. Now, normally I have a decent amount of luck going for these throw-related brutalities in these videos, and in the past, with most of the other characters, I've managed to get it twice in the same video, so let's go ahead and try to keep that streak going, and go ahead and go for the brutality one more time. Let's double down on it. And I am actually a little bit disappointed that my opponent went ahead and skipped the intro dialogue between Johnny Cage and John Cena. I mean Peacemaker. Yeah, a lot of the intro dialogues for Peacemaker are kind of hilarious, so I definitely have not heard all of them, but what ones I have heard, I have really enjoyed. So anytime I had the opportunity to listen to the intro dialogue while I was doing these videos in the Kombat League, yeah, I was pretty thrilled about that. That's alright though, my opponent must be in a hurry or something, and that is fine. Let's go ahead and get into the violence. Actually, before I move off of the intro dialogues entirely, I do feel like John Cena probably had a blast recording those. Like, I cannot imagine how funny it was probably listening to him having to do multiple takes of some of these lines in the recording booth as a voice actor. And speaking of which, I have not heard John Cena be a voice actor in too many things, but I mean, he actually does pretty good here. Definitely no complaints. He did pretty well. And alright, we actually had a pretty long first round, but fortunately for me, after we both dive below 30% health, I do eventually end up landing a throw and one more hit to close out the very first round of this second match. So all I need is one more round and we can wrap this whole thing up. And of course you saw it for yourself. I'll go ahead and recap the very first match that we've already completed. That one went well in my favor, and it was a pretty good one. I ended up taking the first round, he took the second, and we found ourselves in a third and final round of that first match, which I again fortunately was able to win with the Brutality. Overall, I do feel like things are going pretty smoothly in this matchup, a lot more so than I would have expected taking a new character into the Kombat League. More often than not, that is a big struggle for me because going against people online, like real people, is a hell of a lot different than going against a computer. It's definitely a lot different than going against, a standing opponent that's not defending itself or anything else in practice mode. So normally I take quite a few losses early on and then start making my way back and getting some wins and padding out my record and breaking even with the new character. In this scenario, however, I did surprisingly well with Peacemaker whenever I first took him into the Kombat League.
Let's see Batman do that.
Brutality! Peacemaker wins.
And there it is again, the Shield of Peace Brutality. So yeah, I was able to get it twice after all. So yeah, with that victory I was able to extend my win streak to 3 and I had 0 losses up to that point in the Kombat League, which is kind of nice. Like I was saying earlier, I had a surprising amount of early success with this character despite being very new to using him. And that success was definitely at least partially due to, well, he was new. I imagine a lot of people were not used to that matchup yet, but still, I was doing pretty good. I will definitely never complain about things going pretty smoothly from the start. But we can get into how I did overall with Peacemaker later because during the height of my success with the character is when I got a lot of the finisher videos that we are going to eventually see for him. But yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for this video. I will go ahead and show that Brutality one more time at the very end of this outro. That way we can enjoy it one final time before we part ways. But we did manage to accomplish that Brutality twice, so there's really not too much more to say. Just if you did enjoy getting to see this Brutality in this video, feel free to check out some of the other stuff that I do on the Thor's Entertainment channel. I do have other finisher related videos just like this for Mortal Kombat 1. All of those can be found under the Mortal Kombat 1 online playlist. And also I do have playthroughs of Mortal Kombat games like Mortal Kombat 9, 10, 11, and now 1. So if those sound interesting to you, feel free to check them out as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Let's see Batman do that.
Brutality! Peacemaker wins.